trans panda. You know what? Thank you for that. Anyway, what's that on my neck? This it's not Satanist though. Well, Satanists can claim everything. Everything's Satanist, so I guess anything can be Satanist, right? Okay, so we have all these trans agendas. We have all these things going. Let me state this first for someone who asked me, because before you even, I am zero Satanist. I have absolutely zero connection to Satanists. I absolutely detest and disgusted by people who molest and rape children and eat children and genocide anyone. So let me put that out there. So if you come on here saying, oh, she's a Lilith, she's a witch, I absolutely repel, reject, and rebuke everyone who does things like that. I am a protector of children and animals. I absolutely and in zero way connect to anyone who does Satanist acts of abusing children, molesting children, having anal sex, all that stuff. So please, if you see something on my neck and so on, these are the things you have to wear to come on here and deal with these Satanist bastards on here. Oh, I might be a Smurf today, right? Because I'm wearing blue. Okay? So when you ask something like that, just know, because some of you will, because some of the people in here are NPCs. We don't even know who's an NPC until they start, because NPCs can appear to look and be humanoid. You can't tell, but the only way you can really tell is that NPCs have absolutely zero originality. NPCs have absolutely zero. They only copy and paste other people's genres. They can't make anything up. They can't create a language. They can't, all they can do is copy you. So they cosplay everything that you say. If you say like, say word, all of a sudden they say in everything you say. That's why it's important that the part of you that's zested, that was created by your parents, that you created by the things and experiences you had, you don't sell that to people online. That's why FB was created, so they could basically get all of our information, what you like, what colors you like, how you see things, what are your favorite foods, you know, what kind of smells you like, what kind of things you like to wear. They're trying to get enough information so they could cosplay you, and just like in Westworld, they want to take everything that you have, cosplay and replace you, get rid of you, so that they can pretend that they're you. NPCs don't have that. They want to copy you. That's why they want to know what you're wearing, where you get that from. You ever see somebody that meets you, is like, where you get that from? What you wearing, what you wear, what you like to eat, how you make that. I remember one time it was a guy, because there's certain dishes that in my culture, big up to everyone who's from the island people. So there's certain foods and dishes that we have in our culture that are very designated. I got really triggered when I heard the Guyanese, like somebody made a dish, a Guyanese dish, and they made it incorrectly on like they try to cosplay them, you know, on like the Times, I don't know what kind of newspaper, and they put the wrong thing in the recipe. And then when the person wrote them and said, hey, in Guyana, we don't make that food like that. We don't add that. Oh, you can do it. You know, there's different ways to make it. Different Guyanese say that's a lie. There's certain things that come with your cultural base. So that's why it's important that if there are things that come with your culture, that are things that are definitive and unique to you, that you don't go sharing them on public media. You don't tell them the recipes that your grandmother gave you. The recipes that my grandmother gave me, my mother gave me, go to my children. They aren't going to social media to be freaking cosplayed the freak out of, so that they can come on here saying, hey, my name is Fleur Brun. Hey, everybody, east of southwest, southeast. They'll come in here and cosplay the crap out of you. You aren't to sell your essence, no matter what they pay. That's why it's very important right now, before the shift, that you realize that they're trying to colonize the women, and also the way that we are, and men, it's not just women. They're trying to take who you are, because they're trying to get the freak out of here. They aren't able to leave, but they know some of you are going to leave. So what they're going to do is try to copy and paste everything that you are, including your essence, soul essence, and try to use that as a piggybacking method to access the exit points that you only have access to. So when they ask you, like, girl, what's that perfume? So why? So your husband could start kissing on her neck? Girl, oh my God, where you get that from? So she could start dressing. Did you ever see a single white female? That is a perfect example of cosplaying, where a whole female comes into your life acting like she's your friend, telling you she admires everything about you. Meanwhile, she's copying, pasting everything that you are, to the point where she's giving your man a blowjob and he can't even tell until he comes in her mouth. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Take that off. It was very inappropriate. Please, I went too sag on you, y'all. I'm sorry. I went too far. I apologize. If there's any children, just roll that back, y'all. Roll that back. That was a scene that I was like, yo, I was like, that is a real scene. I know that it's very rough. I told you I might purple pill you. That's worse than purple pill. That might be like deep throat purple pill you. I'm sorry about that. That movie was, but I wanted to, that single white female, if you've not seen Single White Female, y'all, you have to watch Single White Female. It's a good, there's a lot of different examples you will get, but right now, they are trying to colonize. The NPCs, the AI system has found a way to try to collect all your personal data, try to put it in a package. Remember I told you how they do updates and so on? Well, maybe an update like in the Westworld, it might be you. They might take you, the other you out and bring the cosplayer in, the crisis actor, you, just like that woman who said, that motherfucker's not real. They brought a whole other woman, looks similar. It was so creepy, y'all. Remember like the nurse that passed out? Remember the nurse that originally passed out when she took the cucaracha shot? Remember that nurse? Because we followed her. What was her name? What was the nurse's name, y'all? Do you remember her? Oh, God, I was on her IG page. Do you remember? Y'all, what's her name? Gosh, it was something deep. Can someone remember her name? The nurse who first took the cucaracha shot live on television. Remember her? Deagle or no, what's her freaking, can someone find her name? Tiffany Dolger or Dolger? Was Tiffany Dolger? Thank you, brown-eyed girl. Is it Tiffany Dolger? Remember that? Okay, so I want to bring this up, y'all. Do you remember Tiffany when she took the cucaracha shot live remember on the eve of when they were going to push this agenda? Okay, remember that? Okay, remember when she took it? She passed out, right? And then she got up and she looked really woozy. Well, most of us, and this is allegedly, knew that she had already transitioned, okay? The family was paid off. They were threatened. Nobody talked about it. She didn't post anything on her IG. I mean, God darn it, for like 3 years, everybody was talking about it. She never responded. She was a mother. She always responded. Very cute. You know, she was a cutie pie too. She had a very distinguished look. Like she had bright eyes, not too blue, but she had very distinguishing eyes and hair. Like a combination that most lunar girls don't always have. She's a very nice looking woman. And then all of a sudden she disappeared. Remember that? And then all of a sudden 3 years later, this weirdo comes on her page, hacked her page, and then all of a sudden she shows up again. And she looks nothing like the original person. She kind of like the girl on the plane. So they basically got, the original went, and it took them 3 years to get a freaking NPC. Tiffany Dover, thank you, Callis, my love, thank you. They took a whole 3 years to get a fake, this is allegedly, a fake player, and now all of a sudden this new character, she doesn't even look like the original one, doesn't even talk about what happened. Y'all, Westworld, I don't want you to look at the newer Westworld, I want you to see the old Westworld. The old Westworld is when they were, the old, I think it was like his 70s. I'm going to watch it again tonight. I got to watch it again tonight. Remember the old Westworld? They went on a vacation. They all went to this resort. They all went to this resort to go and, you know, go on vacation. The families would go. So they would go. And all of a sudden, when they went in, they would take out the original and the cosplayers, the replicants, the empty seaters, walking around with just, it's like a skinwalker, walking around with your skin. Remember Under the Skin? Remember Under the Skin with, that's another good movie, Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson. You don't want to see that movie. Scarlett Johansson acting, remember she had to look thick in that movie too? She was real thick because she had to play a thicker role because that was a skin. And then it showed you she was bringing dudes into a holographic building that was really a spaceship, taking them, they would sink through the floor, and then they would starve them out until their skins came off. Remember the skin peelers that are over in Peru? Y'all, be careful that they aren't trying to cosplay you. You got whole people online cosplaying stay-at-home moms, have a whole scam running, acting like they're females, playing that they're housewives, and meanwhile it's a whole man with a penis in between his legs. And people walking online like, oh my God, you're so pretty. Oh, I wish I could be a mom like you and a stay-at-home wife. Meanwhile, when she gets offline, she's probably like, yo, what's good? I mean, I'm just saying. Skinwalkers, that's another concept. I want you to watch Under the Skin. Under the Skin is another great movie. Scarlett Johansson, looking really thick. You know what I'm saying? Looking a little thick. Okay? The reason why she was thick is because when she opened up her suit, I don't want to throw that out there because you got to see the movie. I don't want to ruin it for you. Okay? I'm just saying, y'all, the NPCs have colonized the simulation, but it's over. So now what's happening is that all of the perimeters, the things that kept us restricted, the Age of Aquarius is allowing everything. Everyone has access to all the truth. All of the things that used to hold you back from who you really were, or the things that you had issues with. Everything is basically open. It's like a free-for-all right now. People who've done harmful things are now receiving it. People who are just normally are liars. Like if you said that you were a vegan for like 10 years and then somebody took a picture of you at Burger King shoving a whole Big Mac in your mouth, just, salivating like, They got you on tape, playing it on YouTube. Everything's coming out the closet. You know what I'm saying? So it's all coming to fruition. And why it's important for you to say this, because remember, the truth coming out does hurt the artificial construct that has been created. It breaks it down quicker. So they got to try to control it. So they got to try to get rid of original people or cosplay originals so that you don't know really what's going on. They basically are taking and piggybacking and taking your essence. And women, I'm telling you right now, those motherfreakers are. And men, you need to check the balls of mass destruction between those women that you say you were attracted to. That BBLs was not created for natural women. Lace fronts were created for men who have cranial structures of men whose faces and cranial structure is wider and bigger than women. So they had to create a way to cloak that. So lace front wigs were meant for men. BBLs weren't intended for real females. That was meant for the other ones who were trying to look female. Because remember, their waist looks different. They're skinny legs. They don't have calves like women. I'm a thick one. My calves match my thighs. I don't know if that's good or bad. Okay? They match everything. When they showed, I didn't see the video. When you show a reconstruction of a yoni, it does not look like a female. You men have to be smarter, and you need to be more vibrationally spiritual. You have to use your spiritual discernment, because remember, they cosplay the heck out of women right now. You got women cosplaying to be trans women. Really, in itself, if we gonna keep it real, all these eyelashes with all kinds of nanofibers coming on them, bringing up Ebola. I didn't say that, but all that snuffleupagus and the lace front weaves and all the BBLs and so on. That's because women are cosplaying trans women to try to catch y'all. Women's breasts are not supposed to be up like this unless you're like 13. Your breast is supposed to be here. People are like, why are your breasts? Listen, when I take my clothes off, gratefully, I love the way my breasts look. Okay? I ain't worrying about what y'all think. Because when I see these breasts, when I take off my clothes, gratefully, I love them. They're healthy. I'm grateful for it. But they're real. They have enough lift where I feel confident about it, but they look real. When you feel them, you're not going to feel like pouches of silicone or anything in them suckers. Okay? So stop it already. We are in a time, y'all. Yo, the electric fence is off. All bets are off, y'all. So if you did dirt, you about to get dirt. If you've been telling people that you were a real person, your alien eyes are going to come out. That's why Kim Kardashian is coming out as a bug. She can't keep the secret. The electrical fences are off. It's all coming out. Do you understand? It's not to demonize anyone, because remember, you feel how you feel. But you certainly aren't going to overtake and try to pretend like you something like you're not. The $5 Indians, I understand that you've been told over generations that you're the real deal. But if you take a picture at the Smithsonian and you go back to seeing what the original natives look like, you're going to have to ask yourself, how come the natives look like me and they don't look like you? When are you going to stop getting mad at the messenger for telling me that you've been lied to, and get mad at your granny or your mother who told you was something that you weren't? Stop getting mad at the messenger. I'm just telling you, there's reasons why I look like the same ancestors. I'm still native in my native countries. I still look like the people who were there, who weren't raped in and changed and shapeshifted, because the governments didn't do that so much abroad where we came from, but they did that in the United States. So you got brown people called African when they ain't never been from Africa. And also, you got to stop letting people cosplay you. Putting African in front of something is cosplaying where you really came from. That's why they keep changing. Listen, y'all, I'm just a messenger. My family came from another country, so I'm talking about the Americans now. That's why you call Afro-Latinos. Why do you let people put African on front of everything that you are? Why do you say African Latinos? Why do you say African Americans? Do you ever hear any Lunar saying, hey, I'm European American, or I'm European Latina? Why don't they say that? Why are people putting a cosplay label before you, but nobody else does that? How come? You don't think that's odd? I have Lunar girlfriends. They're not going around saying, hey, I'm European American, or I'm European Latina. When have you ever heard that? And Lunars, you need to check people when they say that there isn't any such thing as African. That is cap. That is to shade and cloak where people really are from. But remember, all of the fog is off. The electrical fog is off. We in the age of Aquarius, all real is real right now. You aren't going to be able to hide those things anymore, because with the field of remember, within the realm of the simulation, everything comes out before the shift, before the reset. So before reset, it's like, you know, at the end of a play, the stage is revealed. So at the end of a play, we all do the play. We all play our parts. You're the villain, you're the princess, you're the king, you're the prince. But at the end of the play, when we're on stage, what happens? They open the curtains and you see all the props, right? Right? And it's all revealed. We are all at the ends of the play where everything is being revealed. The curtains are opening. So all of the things that were alive. Listen, you can't tell me that you understand that your governments, your Willy Wonka systems and his League of Dooms had lied to you all in your educational system, but then they didn't lie about who the natives were. And why do I bring that up? Because my Indigenous American have been demonized, they've been mislabeled, they've been called something that they aren't, told to go to a continent that they didn't. Maybe during Pangea, yes, we all maybe came from one landmass, but they didn't come from over in Africa, and there's nothing wrong if they did. But why are you trying to demonize people because they're aware of it? There's no way that every single brown grandmother, and I'm not from the States. Remember, my family's not from the States. I don't have a leg in this race. I got children that are native from their father here in the United States. But I will say this. Why is it that every brown grandmother says that she's indigenous in America? In America. I'm not talking to other countries. You don't hear that in England, France. It's not the same. How come in America, every brown, because people are saying, oh, that's a lie. How come every brown person, a lot of brown people, so many, you always hear them say, oh, my grandmother said we were Cherokee. Oh, my grandmother said we were Creek. Why aren't they saying they all from the same tribe? Because that's what they were. Grandparents don't lie. It's all the other MK Ultra programming and all the systematic education that was meant to re-educate you, which is basically to put you under mind control so you forget the fog of who you were. Okay? They do it all the time. They do it all the time. So let me explain something, Sea Stars. They are trying to piggyback off of your energy, Sea Stars. The NPCs of all different types of MTC. There's a lot of beings coming in this firmament right now that are injecting their energy in here, playing, basically using bodies as jumpsuits. Okay? And I talked about the fact that doing drugs, the reason why this is a drug culture and that people are telling you to do all kinds of drugs, they're telling you to go to dispensaries or dispensing drugs that make you easier to be incepted by. It makes your body a jumpsuit for beings coming in trying to play house in your body. That's why when I say stop doing drugs, everybody wants to attack you, because drugs is how they get in here. When you drink a lot of alcohol, wine, and spirits, that's why they tell wine and spirits. It lowers your field. It lowers your protection. Why do you think they're legalizing all these drugs? They're legalizing drugs because it lowers your field. It allows your biosphere to be a jumpsuit for entities coming and trying to take control over you and manipulate what's going on around you. And this isn't the time that anyone should be getting high. Your body, your biosphere should be as grounded as possible. I don't care what they tell you. Listen, the NPC is going to try to convince you to do drugs right now. The NPC is going to make you seem like everything that's right is wrong. The NPC is going to convince you that you trying to uphold to a certain ethical and moral standard is absolutely you judging them. The NPC is going to try to convict you so that you can convict yourself, so that you aren't able to access the exit points when we get out of this mofo in another year and a half. That whole concept of say no to drugs, how come you don't see that rolling in schools anymore? How come you don't see them playing that old hip-hop song, self-destruction? You had it for self-destruction. Why are you seeing people pumping all kinds of use of mushrooms, all kinds of different forms of drugs and candy, and putting microdosing of all kinds of psychotropics? They don't want you to leave because they aren't able to leave, and they may not even be real. Do you know the video I made it was like a year ago? I said to ayahuasca, is it ayahuasca? I was talking about ayahuasca. Do you know they try to lynch me online? God darn it, you would have thought I talked about molesting and raping children. They don't even talk to child molesters and rapers online like that. I said, this probably isn't the time to do drugs. They wanted to lynch me. They wanted to take me out like I was their grandfather and I slept with their grandmother's friend. When is there ever a time that a mother who is extending the thoughts of drugs being negative of any sort, why would that be something that people would attack you? Normally they say, oh, she's just a hotsy toddy, or maybe she's like very churchy, but why? Why is the resistance? Why are people so why are they so aggressive when someone says to stop doing drugs or alcohol? Why all of a sudden? Those are the things, that is the necessary drugs, alcohol, and it's all kinds of drugs, prescription drugs, any kind of all the dispensaries are weaponized drugs that lower your auric field and make you susceptible to being in a jump room. Okay, and all these different kinds of like so-called spiritual, oh, these are herbs. Herbs weren't meant to be constantly be done over and over again. And again, the herbal family, the plant family invites you, not you to it. The plant will call you to it. And you won't have to spend $250, $300 to go to the plant. The plant will be in your backyard.